Okay, let's talk about variables and methods. Variables are anything that can store a value. So normally these values can be changed, right? So I like to think of variables as these sorts of bags. I'll elaborate on that. So variables hold a value in them. And excuse my drawing here. Now sometimes these variables don't hold the value itself but a reference to the value. So continuing with the analogy from the previous video, we can think of these references as remotes that just point to the value. Okay, these values are stored somewhere else, but this remote, this reference is stored in the variable. Now, what determines whether the value is stored inside here or outside? It's a very good question. Anything that is an object, okay, so it's created from class, is stored outside these bags, right? And everything else, and by everything else I mean very few things, right? Like int and double, these are stored inside these bags, all right? These are called primitives, and everything that's stored outside objects. Like for example, strings. Strings are stored outside these bags. So that's why string has a capital S while int and double have a small letter. When we created our city object by this code, right, this creates an object, but we created it from the city class. Alright, so wherever we write the name of a class, it starts with a capital alphabet. Okay, class starts with C, think capital, right? Everything else in Java starts with a small letter. For example, we define the variable name that started with a small letter. Now let's take up a variable that consists of multiple words. Say, say we define a variable my name, right? That would be written like this, right? And this is called camelum font, by the way. Camelum because capital in between starts with small. Now let's talk about methods. Methods are nothing but behaviors. Alright, while variables were properties, so for example, this pen has black ink, right? That's the property of this pen. But suppose we want to change the color of this pen, we change the refill, right? So we say pen dot set color to, I don't know, I like red. And this is a method. It took an input, in this case the color name, and then the pen's color is changed. Some methods can also return a value. So if we call up pen dot get color. Now we always use these brackets after a method just to keep it uniform because some methods take an input. Alright, so whenever we write pen dot get color, it replaces that with whatever the color is right now, which is red.